on.
Give it a second
Hello,
to change.
YouTube. Hello, YouTube.
Hello,
We are on.
YouTube.
This is the Geek I Show, episode 208. When we're sailing, we'll get sailing. So, but yeah, it's excited. It's exciting, rather. You can't be excited without being exciting. I think that's how that works.
I'm sad that we didn't get to go to Dragon Con this year.
Aw. There you go.
Have you ever been to Dragon Con, Carrie?
Nope. CJ invited us, but the room was already full and everything was already sold out because it was only a couple months away.
Yeah, Dragon Con tends to sell out really quickly, especially the host hotels.
Yeah.
They'll sell out like almost as soon as they open up, like 2 or 3 months after the con. I think that's when they open up again.
Something like that. It's very close to being right after the con ends because the maximum distance out that a hotel can book is typically like just under a calendar year.
Okay.
Because there's been some Otakons where you get home from Otakon and boom, reservations are up for next year.
Okay.
There's another anime, I guess, I'm not sure if it's anime or animation, MomoCon. Yeah, I guess it is an animation that's also in Atlanta, right?
I think so. That sounds really familiar. I know it's an anime convention. I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Well, without further ado, I'm going to hit some buttons here because we've got a deadline. Actually, can people talk for a minute so I know my audio recording is working properly?
Okay, this is me talking.
Talky.
Well,
There you go.
All right, well, let's say that.
Oh, I
Everybody,
don't have voice meter up. I can't do duck step.
Oh, yeah. How is that working? Yeah, that's a post-show thing. All right. Well, I have track set up. There you go.
Okay.
That's for you. All right. All right. I'm going to hit some buttons here. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1.
You are listening to a podcast of the Geek IO Media Network. For all of our shows and more, visit geek-io.net. And to help support the network, head over to patreon.com/geekio.
Warning. Listener caution is advised. The following broadcast contains bad language and bad grammar, and probably bad spelling, which is frankly an achievement for audio content.
Geeking out across the globe. Hold on to your butts. It's the Geek I.O. Show.
The Geek I.O.
Show. Welcome, one and all, to the Geek I.O. Show. This is the Geek I.O. Show, your weekly dose of geekery, episode number 208, recorded Friday, the 11th of August, 2017, because I get to read the intro and I just dictate what date it is. I am your best temporary fill-in host, Dale Campbell.
I am Raul Exhausted Garza.
I am Carrie. Forgot to think of a nickname. Wilcox.
CJ is having technical difficulties and Josh is having technical difficulties putting on his clothes. So both of them will be joining us here momentarily. Joining us this week on this super broken beginning to the show, the man who wants to debrief Dragon Con once again. He is a one-stop shop for all the knowledge bombs you'll ever need about the country's greatest convention. Joining us once again for our Dragon Con prep episode, Kevin Bachelder. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing that.
Totally okay, Dale. Totally okay. It's a regular occurrence, so that's no problem.
I'm Australian. I get to mispronounce things and get away with it, apparently.
Right.
It's just it's the accent.
No worries. No worries.
And the kangaroo joking I did in the pre-show. So there you go. Yeah, another week. So Kevin, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you very much for having me back on, gang.
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's a pleasure.
always great to have you back. Talking about Dragon Con experiences, advice for newbies, especially.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, even in so.
Yep. No, it's interesting. I appreciated the intro, but I certainly would not call myself the expert. That's the wonderful thing about Dragon Con. Even those of us who've been for many years, we're always learning new things. So,
and
it's
that's
very much an evolving.
And that's and I've heard that a lot since booking the Dragon Con membership. Is there's always, regardless of or the amount of times that you go, there's always something different.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
and
that's what happens. A lot of stuff changes.
Yeah, and for better or for worse, I suppose that's a matter of opinion too. Like, things get swapped out and that sort of thing. But hey, we're gonna talk about that right now after I play this button.
Oh, Geek Out!
This is the Geek Out segment where we geek out until we get a topic and we beat it into the ground. That's what we do here on Geek Out. So, Dragon Con.
Yes, less than a month away. Every year, it kind of feels like it sneaks up, doesn't it?
Well, for some folks, I'm sure it does. For me, it's a year-round thing, so it doesn't sneak very much at all. But for a lot of folks, I definitely know it does.
Yeah, because like you book your hotel, you book your flight, you buy your ticket months in advance, and you're like, oh wait, I have Dragon Con next week.
Yeah, so it starts on Facebook for me about like generally April or May, because a lot of our friends cosplay, and so everybody's like Dragon Con costumes, and like that's all you hear for months is Dragon Con, and then get to see all the cool pictures and.
That's a good place to start, I think. Costuming and dressing up at Dragon Con that's a popular thing to do. I'm assuming. I have never been to Dragon Con, so I'm assuming it's a thing to do.
Hey, me either.
It's the stuff of legend.
What's great about Dragon Con is that it's not limited to like say like your Comic-Con, like your only comic book cosplay or like only anime cosplay. It's got every kind of cosplay you can imagine.
I mean, not that people care too much about that at other cons to begin with.
True.
Oh.
The amount of Elsas and stuff I saw at MetroCon last week.
Ooh. And joining us is Robo CJ. But
yeah,
so go on.
For the cosplayers, Dragon Con is like the big thing, right? Like you might have, throw together a costume for this thing, throw together a costume for that thing, but all of the big costumes, the things you spend years building, you take that shit to Dragon Con.
Well, I spent 20 minutes, but anyway, we'll move on. But are there any guidelines or any sort of rules or tips on cosplaying at Dragon Con, Kevin?
Don't kill someone else with it.
That's a good start.
Yeah, no, it is, as many of you are mentioning, it certainly is considered in the community probably the cosplay con in terms of the folks who come to it, the folks who prepare for it, the quality of what you'll see, the quantity, and as you're saying, the breadth too, because it's not just the main, the mainstream Deadpool, Spider-Man, whatever. You get everything, whether it be geek related or non-geek related too. And that's certainly what Dragon Con brings out in folks. And you know, as long as the private parts are covered, almost anything goes.
Well,
and a piece of advice for cosplays or for people who go there for the cosplay, because CJ is not here to yell it. Cosplay is not consent, so just don't go up to someone. Don't go up to someone and start touching their costume, because if you break it, that's a lot of work that they've put into it.
And don't go touching them without permission, because they are a human fucking being inside that costume.
Yes, ask nicely. I mean, if you go dressed up in a costume to a con, you kind of expect it to be stopped. Am I wrong? I mean,
well, yeah,
no, you were definitely not wrong.
To ask.
You want attention, but you want the right kind of attention. As a cosplayer, I want people to stop me, take a picture with me, compliment my costume. I don't want the guy at MetroCon who literally tried to sweep me off my feet. Yes, that happened.
Oof.
And that's when you go for the taser, right?
I dead weighted and let him drop me in front of all of his friends, so he looked like an asshole.
Okay.
But are there any other guidelines for cosplaying at DragonCon? There are set rules that people need to be aware of?
No, as Carrie's saying, it's really the consent part. I mean, you just as far as the people who are enjoying the cosplay, as she said, always ask first to take a photo. Let the person get in their pose or be prepared, and again, don't touch stuff without asking. And it's not consent just because people are cosplaying. But as far as doing it, no, again, just respect the fact that you do have an all-age group there till you get later in the evenings. But as far as what goes, it's some pretty amazing stuff you're going to see, and it's because there aren't a lot of guidelines beyond respecting your fellow congoers that you get to see some amazing things.
Okay, there you go. Well, my hot Japanese bikini bod mankini one piece will be out in full display at DragonCon, so have fun with that. No, I'm just kidding.
It wouldn't be the first.
There's a lot of hearts there.
We've seen.
I hope I transcribed that right.
We've seen female versions of male characters, and we've seen male characters of female.
Well,
we saw a male Poison Ivy one year.
So Poison Ivan?
Yeah.
More like Poison Ivan.
Yeah, no, it's if you're going to get some awesome stuff, which you will, you've got to realize that with 80,000 plus attendees, that also means sometimes some of the stuff is going to make you raise an eyebrow and kind of wonder what you're looking at. Yeah, that will happen.
Which is okay. I guess that there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a lot like a lot of the other things at con with 35 plus programming tracks. There might be a lot of stuff that's of interest to you that has very little interest to me, and so forth. That's where we're all very much a welcoming community that realizes we're very inclusive. That doesn't mean everybody enjoys a lot of the same things, but we respect that you enjoy what you're interested in. The same will go for the cosplay and everything else.
Yeah,
now,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, would you recommend that for those con goers who want to maybe wear a little bit more mature of a costume? Would you recommend that they bring that out more towards the evening time because there are kids there, or are there parts of the con where that kind of goes 24/7?
No, there isn't. The wonderful thing from a fan's point of view about the cosplay is it's everywhere all the time. It's not like it's in a separate area. And for that reason, as you're pointing out, Carrie, normally the general rule folks will say is after 9 o'clock or so, 9 or 10, you might start to see a little more mature stuff. So if you're the type who has younger kids, you probably want to start getting them away from the common areas then. And if you are someone who wants to do a mature costume, just kind of keep that in mind. Again, it's that respect side of things. But again, even the more mature stuff, you still got to make sure the private parts are private.
You do have some issues where people do tend to wear stuff like all year, all hours of the day, and especially in areas around like the Kaleidoscope area where that's a kids area. So people tend to get a little upset about that kind of thing. Hi, everybody. I'm here mostly, I think.
Hi, CJ. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. In non-robo form.
Technical issues. Yay!
Techno issues. What are techno issues?
Where you can't drop the bass. Duh.
Bass.
Where you can't drop the ducks.
You can't drop the ducks.
First time Kong. I'm just remembering first things that when I went, like, oh my god, has it been like 3 years already?
Something like that, yeah, dude. You've been going for a few years now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Lots of walking. Be prepared to walk.
Hydrate.
Yes, if we're gonna hit the simple overviews for the newbies, yes, those are two of the most important points. You're going to be doing lots of walking. 5 hotels, multiple floors, Atlanta humidity. It's going to be a lot of standing and a lot of walking. I think some of the folks that I know that have Fitbits tell me they walk like 25 to 40 miles over the course of the weekend.
Oh yeah, easily. Also, just as something I love that Dragon Con does that as of so far I've not seen in any other con is the fact that there is water in every single panel room. So if you are even feeling a bit like, oh man, my throat's a bit dry. If your throat is dry, you are dehydrated. So it's free. You can go into any of them. Just grab a cup. They have fresh plastic cups or paper cups. So don't be afraid to grab one. You're not going to be sharing germs with anybody.
Refilling it constantly.
Oh yeah, the Dragon Con volunteers are the most badass people on the freaking universe. Like even if something is running kind of low, they're already there bringing in more. So yeah.
And I think last year was the first year that they actually had like those cooler fountains, right? It was like a ceramic cooler that they just put the water on top, and it actually was cold water.
Also, this goes also for cosplayers. I've seen a lot of people in cosplay communities advise each other not to drink while they're in costume, like not to drink water while they're in costume, so they don't have to take the costume off to go to the bathroom. Don't do that. We don't want the paramedic scooping you off the floor.
Horrible idea. Especially if you are in a full body costume. No, do not do that.
Yeah, no, you get a lot of factors that way in the Atlanta heat, the humidity, and all the walking. Unless you're someone, I certainly have known, Carrie talking about that, some folks who, if they're really big into the cosplay and they do have a costume like that that's difficult to get out of, they'll maybe then plan to stay in a certain area rather than being the type who's moving around and let the con more come to them. Maybe in the Marriott, general areas of the Hilton or wherever. So there is some way to balance it a little bit. Yeah, the hydration is so important.
I try to have
the Marriott
a
is
handler with
cosplay
me.
central, by the way. For those unfamiliar with it, the Marriott is pretty much cosplay central because they have a cosplay suite where you can only go into with you if you are in cosplay. There's no pictures. There's nothing allowed up there. They have your quote unquote first aid kit and also real first aid kits up there.
Yeah, that's someplace where you'll see a lot of it.
And if you have friends who are going with you who are not going to be cosplaying, recruit them as handlers. See if they'll hold parts of your costume while you go to the bathroom, or help you carry things, or help you move your costume around.
Yes, I get.
Or just flat out carry your bags for you because you're being stopped every 5 feet.
Love you.
That is particularly a problem for those of the female persuasion. If you couldn't tell from Josh's kind of grunting there.
Oh, I get a lot less harassment just from having my fiance or a male friend standing next to me. It's night and day difference, and
which is sad in and of itself, but
yeah, no, having a team to work with that way, like you said, is going to make your experience as the customer that much better. But yeah, as far as the general newbies, the hydration, you're going to be doing a lot of standing. The nature of the con too, a lot of folks want to, let's face it, a lot of us geeks are planners, are type A's. They start asking in July, when do I get the schedule? When can I make my plan for all these cool guest panels?
Wait, hold on. First, drink. Run
Yeah.
up the schedule.
There you go.
Is that a new
Full
drinking
schedule.
game on the Geek I show? Is that...
Anytime anyone someone asks or talks
drink.
about the schedule, yes. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, another one. Jesus. I'm drunk off
Drink.
Take a drink.
Ding.
But
drunk off drink.
you're not going to see that schedule till approximately 10 days before con.
Drink.
Yeah. And
You
then
know what is mostly confirmed on schedule, though, you guys? You want to know what's mostly confirmed on the schedule? If Friday night, 8:30 p.m. in the Hilton Galleria 6, our panel is going to be there. You guys
Oh,
we're gonna have another panel.
Got a panel.
I had a nice banner put up before my technical issues started coming up. So hey, I don't have that banner anymore.
we still see it. Oh, you mean for the date?
You're talking about
Yeah.
different kind of banner.
Okay. Let's see.
That's a wrong
When you're going between buildings, it's up to you if you want to use the street level, which is slanted up, down. It's very hilly in downtown Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But it's flat if you go through the buildings, but it's also very crowded.
Yeah,
Well, that's the
the
trade-off,
habit
too.
trails are what they're called. Yeah, Kevin and I remember every year. Kevin and I have a very detailed conversation about the habit trails versus walking actually on street level.
Yeah, that'll be a trade-off. You'll have to make a call on if you want to stay inside and cooler. A lot more people, a lot more walking up escalators or stairs, because as you're pointing out, certainly the main three, if you will, the Hilton and the Marriott and the Hyatt, are on an incline. So if you're moving indoors, you're going to obviously have to be moving up floors. If you're outside, you're walking up a hill in the humidity. So if you're in a rush, going outdoors sometimes can get you there faster. But certainly on Saturday, with the largest attendance, you're going to have crowds everywhere. So you got to factor that in too as you're moving around, because that's a lot of things folks will ask about in terms of looking at the schedule. You've got 30 minutes between events, which might seem like a lot, but when you've got to move the breadth of 3 hotels with 80,000 people moving at that time of day, it's going to be a challenge. And if you've got someone who's in a cosplay or you've got bags to bring with you, this is where having multiple options on your schedule comes into play a lot of times, because it's not so much, what do you absolutely have to get to, but hey, what's a little closer to me? Because then it might be worth not doing a lot of walking.
Speaking of Saturday, can we talk about the elephant in the room, the 100 and something thousand people elephant in the room known as the parade?
The parade.
Yes, definitely factor that in if you're not aware. Saturday morning, as CJ is saying, is when the parade takes place, and you've got over 100,000 people who come down, descend, even not counting the con attendees, just the general public to come watch the parade, which gets covered by CNN and all the news outlets. So trying to move around that central area or outdoors on Saturday morning is going to be next to impossible. I mean, some of the streets are even blocked from crossing. So if you're not in the right area, you aren't getting to the other area, as they say. You aren't going to be able to cross the street. So plan ahead for that.
I remember I had to go down like 2-3 blocks just to find an opening where I could run across the end of the parade. And then
you know what I call parade time on Saturdays?
Nap time.
Breakfast time. I did the parade once, and it's definitely it's an experience that you want to get to once if you don't get the video on demand or anything like that. Which, I mean, last year, Kevin, do you know if they're doing the video on demand things again this year?
Yes, what they just announced on that Tuesday is if you already have your Dragon Con membership, aka your badge, for $10, you can get the streaming option, whereby many of the panels in the big rooms will be streamed live or recorded to watch later. And even if you're someone who can't come to the con, they're there. I think for a fee of $30, you can get the same thing, and that content's available for, I believe, 90 days after con too. So you can see a lot of these guests.
It was 6 months with this one.
They said a minimum of 3 months. It might be more.
Yeah, my one that I got because both Rachel and I got one. It's the reason why this one hasn't been marked off yet from last year. Rachel and I got one, and we were able to see it up until 6 months later. So yeah, hopefully they'll continue that. But yeah, it's a fantastic thing. And I mean, for me, like instead of being in the parade heat as a agoraphobic / introvert / really not wanting to deal with that kind of stuff, like being able to just see the entire parade from the comfort of my home a couple of weeks later was okay for me.
Yep.
Or even, if you have to go up to your room to take a break and there's a panel you really want to watch, just load it up on the laptop. There you go.
I just discovered a new panel today that I'm probably going to hit that up on because I doubt we're going to be able to get in line for is the Alton Brown Good Eats panel. Like I am, yes, I am so stoked.
So awesome.
Seeing Alton Brown at the Good Eats panel, and it's Sunday at 4, I believe it was that he said. Again, times may vary because Dragon Con is Dragon Con.
Yeah, nothing is set in stone. You have panels moved by hours.
Schedule is more like
hours.
a guideline, really.
Drinks.
That's twice.
So yes, download the app because the app is more updated than the paper schedule that you get.
You'll get Also, the app isn't out yet. Don't ask, Drink.
Oh man,
But is the app part of the game too?
The app is out. You can get the app, but the data isn't in there yet.
Not alcohol, you guys. I've only been on the show for like 15 minutes, and I'm already out of beer.
CJ,
That sounds like a personal problem.
Nah, that makes no
It
sense.
is. It's not your father's vanilla cream ale. When that goes away, that's sad.
You should schedule in the calendar to get more alcohol. So there you go.
To circle back to what CJ said, though, you're going to have a very large number of people. 80,000 approximate attendees to the con, the Saturday morning parade drawing all those. If you are someone that can be a little adverse to large crowds, you have to keep that in mind. The Dragon Con events run for an hour, and then there's 30 minutes between them. So during those 30-minute breaks, everybody, and I mean everybody, is heading off to something else. You might want to build in time in your schedule where you might take a little bit of a break between some of those, so you're moving during panel times to only have to deal with a smaller crowd. Don't plan to do everything in every time slot. I mean, that's, again, some of us don't want to miss the fun stuff, but the reality is you might find it works better for you to only do a few events a day and build in some downtime with some of your friends in between, because it's going to be quite the thing.
Yeah, I have usually every day I have at least I have my big 3, usually 5 that I want to hit up. And other than that, like this is the time of year that I get to hang out with most of my podcasting buddies. So like I'm personally on 3 panels throughout the weekend. I think Rachel's on a couple, but other than that, I still have like the big 3 that I want to see a day. Another thing is, hey guys, remember it's 24 hours and the con goes for 24 hours. You need to eat. So
Eat,
sleep, yes,
and bathe.
6, 2, 1, 6, 2, 1, 6, 2, 1.
Yeah, 6-2-1 rule. Remind me of that because I've heard that a couple of times doing these prep ones, and it'd be good to get my head fully around what that means.
It's recommended that every day at Dragon Con you should try to get at least 6 hours of sleep, eat 2 full meals, and take 1 shower.
Disclaimer, protein bars are not a full meal. Disclaimer, water is not a full meal. Disclaimer, beer is not a full meal. Disclaimer, Axe is not a shower. Deodorant is not a shower. Spraying yourself with water and when you're in your clothes walking around the con is not a shower.
Yeah. Especially, I really want to touch on that. As someone with a really strong aversion to a lot of powerful scents, please do not marinate yourself in any sort of body spray to offset con funk. You're going to be
packed
only
in.
Someone pass out, but trigger things like horrible migraines and whatnot in those of us that are sensitive.
Yeah,
you're going to like me, who I will flat out have allergies. Like I sometimes have to avoid certain areas of the vendor hall because the vendor hall is a massive, huge thing. It's still in America's Mart this year, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So they've spread it out over the years. It used to be in the bottom of the Marriott. Thankfully, they got it out of there. But it's now in the America's Mart across the street from the big three hotels. But in there, there's not a ton of circulation, especially on Saturday after the parade lets out.
Yep. No, and it is with that many people in small areas, whether you're in an elevator or a line or queued up somewhere, you know, please just realize there are other people who have sensitivities. So it's not that hard, folks. You know, have some
And there's
fun, but
also
respect
expense
your ongoing.
to- And I don't know what the general hotel policy on this, but vaping as well. If that's your thing, that's fine. Do not turn an elevator shaft into a smoke room.
Oh yeah, vaping.
That's no go at Dragon Con at all. Like they will, vaping is in the same eyes as smoking at DC.
Yes.
So,
Okay. That makes me like Dragon Con even more, even though I've never
Mhm.
been one of these years.
next year you'll go. I'll force you.
And just realize food court food at Peachtree Center.
It is delicious.
Yes.
Yes,
so,
that's one thing.
That kind of brings me up, Kevin. Something I've never asked you over the years. Do you do a lot of food court shopping?
I tend to be someone who does eat a lot of times at the food court because it's pretty inexpensive and it's pretty fast. I mean, you can get sandwiches and other meal type foods. I do snack a little bit, but I'm also someone who does tend to want to at least take a few minutes to sit down and grab a real sandwich or something. So yeah, I'm someone who goes to the food court a lot.
Where's your go-tos?
I'll go to Subway a lot, grab a few different sandwiches. They are miraculous at how fast they move you through that line there. You can look and see 25 people in line and think you're going to be there 30 minutes, and you can be out of there in less than 10. I mean, they're pretty amazing in my experience.
My favorite place in all of it, outside of Caribou Coffee, because coffee, is a shawarma place located in the mall called Aviva. It is one of the best places in there, and just like Subway, like, yeah, there could be a line out the door, but they get you through that line, like boom, 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 and it's freaking amazing, especially if you like Mediterranean food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great thing. Any of those spots there in the food court, their staff now been through this for many years. They know what they're going to get, and they move pretty quick.
They have run the gauntlet. They are prepared.
Yes.
I just feel sorry for the new guy that like, oh yeah, I just got this job at the food court. It's gonna be so great. Your first weekend is Dragon Con. What's that?
What happened to Jim?
Oh jeez, Jim, he's out the back.
We put him out to hand out free samples, and we haven't seen him.
So speaking of food and vendor hall and stuff like that, cash versus credit at Dragon Con. Do you have a recommendation? Because at Otakon, I know a big problem was people would need cash, and every single ATM in Baltimore would be empty because it's just that many people.
Yes.
Yeah. No, and that is certainly something we'll recommend to folks too, that the ATMs will run out of money fairly fast, but over the years they've gotten much better at refilling them. And there's also a couple of banks within like a block of the main hotel. So if you don't mind taking a few minutes to actually walk to a bank, they'll be fine. But the ATM machines, like in the food court area or the hotels, they're going to run pretty quickly since, many of the vendors are only taking cash.
I believe
so plan ahead.
I believe it's TD Bank that's on Peachtree as well, like right down the street from there. It's still within the quote-unquote good area of the con, and we'll get into what that means here in a moment. But that place is really, really good at keeping the money in the ATMs, and the ATM service fee there is $1.50, I'm wanting to say. And
I think Bank of America is also there, right?
Yeah, Bank of America.
Bank of America charges like $2.
Yeah.
Yeah, TD Bank also stays open late if you actually need to speak with somebody for any particular reason, and they work with other banks. Like I've had an issue where I bank through USAA. USAA doesn't really have retail banks. I went into a TD Bank, and they're like, yeah, we'll absolutely call USAA for you and get this all worked out for you. So those guys, I mean, obviously Geek I, not sponsored by TD Bank. If you want to, I'm not going to argue. But like, I give them definitely a big rousing endorsement.
Yeah.
Now I've got about 5 minutes left. Gang, is there some specific topics we want to hit on, or?
So yeah,
Things
just I suppose we cover tips for.
I'll let
for-
Dale ask since this will be his first year. So Dale, ask
Yeah.
whatever you want to do of the newbie
Okay,
king.
so people traveling. I know it's when do most people come in to Dragon Con? I suppose is a good place.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. Okay. But do you have any? Are there any specific tips that you have for, I suppose, foreign people coming to Dragon Con? Is there anything you recommend for people coming from other countries, so to speak, to Dragon Con?
Well, the amazing thing to me is Dragon Con is its own community. So whether you're coming from across the street or across the world, a lot of it is going to be a comfort level you'll probably feel pretty quickly. And folks like CJ and everyone else here can let you know that. So I don't think you're going to feel out of place or need to have any kind of acclimation beyond the basics of understanding American culture. So it's not like I think it's anything that's going to put you off or make you have to feel like you need an interpreter to figure out what's going. I mean, as far as the timing, though, of when you're coming in, I mean, the con officially starts on Friday morning. However, Thursday evening is now pretty full with a lot of social events, sing-alongs and parties and so forth. So if you want to kind of get acclimated, we do our walking tours and newbie Q&As on Thursday afternoon. So if you are in the area, it can be a great way to get your bearings that first day, Thursday, if you're around, before things really start to ramp up on Friday, because it'll be a lot harder to kind of stand in one spot and look around to figure where you're at. Come Friday, there'll just be this mass of people moving you and you'll get trampled. So
I cannot recommend the walking tours enough. I've done one. It was on my second year at Dragon Con, and it is, and I'm not just saying this because Kevin's here. I say this regardless if he's here or not. The walking tours are a godsend. And Dale, if we are there when they're going on, we will definitely hit one up.
No, I was looking at that sort of the walking tours and the newbie QEAs. Are there any set times for those yet? Or do you have to wait to come out?
No, those are set. We do the walking tours between 2:30 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. Just come in between that time. We'll have tour groups going out, like 20 people at a pop, because we'll easily have 500 to 700 people come through for the tours. And then we do more traditional panel Q&As, where it's just an open Q&A to ask any questions. Myself, Kim, Sue, and Michael, who've helped me run the newbie group for years. We do one on Thursday late afternoon at 5:30 to 6:30, and then first session of cons Friday morning from 10 to 11. Those will be on the official schedule, so you'll be able to see which rooms they're in. Again, I'm not sure yet. We still have to wait for assignments, but they're open Q&As, so you can come and ask anything, or if nothing else, just be the fly on the wall and listen to the other questions to learn some things too.
Okay, no, we'll have to. We'll see if we're around, and we'll pop on in.
And also, too, I think, Dale, it's important too to keep in mind. I said a little earlier, but it's very true. I mean, while some of us and CJ and some of the folks who've been for many years might have a good handle on the con, things are always changing, and the community realizes this. We all remember how tough it was our first year or two, just getting our bearings and figuring out where things are. So many of the con goers will be glad to answer a simple question. Don't feel like you're putting somebody out if you see some folks standing there and you're a little lost and trying to figure out, am I in the Marriott or the Hyatt? And which direction is the Hilton? Many of us have been there, and they'll be glad, if you ask a simple question too. I mean, sometimes those of us who are experienced kind of look for that look in people's eyes, and we'll actually go up to you and, say, are you lost? You look like you're lost.
I haven't had a bad experience with like asking people for help, or just like it's very crowded, and everyone realizes this and is like bumping into people. Oh, like, sorry, man. Okay, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you're
last thing, really quick, something I like touching on every year, Kevin.
Sure.
Consuite.
Consuite, yes, great thing to share. Appreciate that, CJ. The either infamous or barely known about Consuite is a set of rooms in the Hyatt. Unless it's changed location, it's normally on the second floor. And basically what it is, it's a spot where if you need to go somewhere to get away from the con, it's a spot where they have some free food. We're not talking sit-down meals, but you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or some snacks or a drink. or a comfortable couch to sit on or something. Sometimes they have pasta, they have other food. It's open about 23 and a half hours a day. So it's a great spot to just go if you just kind of need to get away or grab a little snack. As with anything else at con, don't abuse it. Don't make it your place for all your meals. But, if you're a little low on budget or you just need to kind of get away, it's the folks who work there are wonderful. And they realize some folks do just need to sit down for a little while or kind of get away from the flow of con. And some folks never realize it's even there because it's normally stashed away in the corner there of the Hyatt on the second floor. But it's a great group of people that just offer kind of a little bit of a way station.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Kevin, for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. I know you got to get on out of here. Where can people find out more about what we're talking about or more about you?
Sure. Always a pleasure talking to you guys and gals. If you are new to the con, the best place to go is dragonconnewbies.org. We've got a blog post up there with links to a ton of resources for the newbies, including our Facebook group, which has got about 3,000 members, where we welcome any questions about the con. And a bunch of people, not only that are new, but a lot of people who've now stayed in the group after years of being new to offer advice. So there's a ton of people that can answer any questions, or it's a great learning tool to just watch the topics that go by. But it's all listed there at dragonconnewbies.org.
I might have to check that
out.
out.
Right. Thanks so much for coming on again, Kevin. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you at the con this year.
Absolutely, folks. I hope you all take care. Thanks very much for having me on.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Again. Good night.
All right, and as we do every year, go ahead and feel free to ask any questions that either you guys have popped up with that I can answer snarkily, not nearly as well as Kevin.
Hey CJ, do you want to talk about con experiences?
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second. Carrie sounded like she had a question.
Oh, I was gonna say, overall con attitudes of con goers, like friendly, helpful.
Yes, everyone's like, most of the people I've run into very friendly, understanding when it comes to like, hey, there's a bunch of people here, I'm gonna bump into you. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just that we're packed in here like sardines, especially in the habit trails.
Yeah, and for example, like at other cons I've been to, if I'm walking by myself back to my hotel and I see people going in that direction, hey, are you going to the Hilton? Can I walk with you? Sure, come on, try and
there's actually a lot of those, and the reason why I brought up the quote unquote safe area of town, this is downtown Atlanta, one of the largest and dangerous cities in the entire country. That being said, Atlanta PD is on top of things at the con. You go outside of the con, you may want to make sure that you're walking with a group. Like we took Raul to a awesome shawarma place outside of the con. It's it was a bit of a walk, but that's the bad area, and it's pretty much the bad area can be like 2 blocks away from the actual con. But I've never had an issue. Rachel has never had an issue. For the most part, Atlanta as an entity understands what weekend it is, and crime is usually at a low point. But I would not suggest walking alone away from the main hotels at 2 a.m.
Yeah, we have gone to Otakon several times, which used to be in Baltimore.
Yeah, a similar issue.
We understand. The one year my friend came back to the hotel with footage on his cell phone of a car on fire in the street.
My first year at Otakon, we tried to play the Count the Sirens game. We lost count by Friday afternoon.
Oh, and do use the crosswalks. They're there for a reason.
Yes. I mean, it's because they don't kill the traffic in Atlanta except during the parade. So it's still downtown Atlanta traffic, and especially on Friday, people are working.
Let's see what else.
I think if I weren't a geek and I lived in Atlanta, I would take the Friday of Dragon Con off, just so I didn't have to worry about navigating.
Most of them do. I have some friends that actually live up in Atlanta, and they're like, yeah, the holiday is, I take Friday off even if I don't go to Dragon Con. I go to Dragon Con most years, but I take that Friday off every single year.
Also, be responsible. For those of us who are of age, I have heard that Dragon Con is quite a fun time. So be responsible. Take care of yourself.
It is no, Dragon Con is the party con of the year. Like and this is widely established. Like every time you see a write-up of the best cons in the country, you know, you have San Diego Comic-Con is full of news, and New York Comic-Con full of news, and like MomoCon is great environment and things like that. Dragon Con is 100% the Mardi Gras of conventions. You will have the alcohol flows regularly, something I cannot suggest more. Do not take alcohol from strangers. I've seen people just randomly come up, and the biggest thing is something called apple pie. It's apple pie moonshine. However, I have seen people randomly take apple pie from somebody that they don't know, and 5 minutes later, I am holding this person waiting for paramedics to come.
Jesus.
It is... Saturday night is the rave too in the Marriott. By the way, Dale, we do not go to the Marriott on Saturday night.
Oh my God, Dale!
Hat.
Yeah, well, I mean, we actually might go because that's also the night that usually Diamond Club does some stuff. So we're gonna hit up the Diamond Club parties and things like that. But the Marriott is, at least for me, off limits because it's rave night and. Oh boy, yeah, you want to talk about of age, quote unquote of age. I have seen people in there that are either they have very good genes or they were fucking 17. The alcohol just
sorry, go on.
The alcohol just kind of flows, and that is another thing. Do not give minors or people you do not know drinks because you think you're going to hook up with them. Yes, there's a lot of hooking up at Dragon Con, or so I've heard.
So you've heard.
Well, no, I've not actually done anything. I do know on Thursday night there's the ABC party that I keep threatening Dale to take Dale to, which is the anything but clothes party.
Well, Raul knows my outfit for Dragon Con, so Raul, yes, no. Anyway, moving on. Raul's Raul. All right, moving on.
So with Dragon Con being the party con, and you know that's great for people who like to drink. What about those of us who have chosen to abstain? We won't be we'll still have fun stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure the parties are fun if you don't drink.
Yeah, you will have a lot of fun. Your CJ cut off mic. Are you trying to talk, CJ?
How about now? There we
Yes.
go. I dig the thing.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
The soda flows as openly as the alcohol does. You know,
But I suppose
those
the same rule applies. Don't take soda.
From a random stranger because it might not be soda.
go up to that nice bartender there, and the one thing I love about this place is like it's not really super expensive. I mean, yeah, it's still more expensive. Like a soda is going to cost you, I think it was $2.50 or something like that. But it's in the same glass as a beer. They just give you a beer glass of soda. So it's reasonable, but still con inflated. But yeah, there's absolutely
wow. $2.50 is con inflated. I want to see what non-con inflated is. I suppose I live in upside
movie theater prices.
I forget Australia costs like $40 for a ticket to go to the movie theater.
That's right.
Another thing that you gotta realize is that September 1st is also when college football starts. And the Georgia Dome is right there.
Oh, yes.
So you're going to get...
The Geeks do not fully inherit Atlanta. You have NASCAR starts up, college football starts up, NCAA basketball is that weekend. Last year, the Black Gay Pride Rally was that weekend. Like,
that sounds awesome.
It was great to watch, but it also just kind of exploded, and it was great watching the NASCAR people and the Black Gay Pride people interact, by the way. It was fantastic.
Oh my
God. I'll tell you.
Wait. Where did I miss this? How did I miss this?
I don't know, dude, but I watched a couple of rednecks almost get in a fight with a couple of African American people dressed up as fairies, dancing around, throwing glitter at people.
Well, I mean, throwing glitter at people is a fightable offense, I will say.
It wasn't because of the glitter.
I'm sure it wasn't, but I'm saying if somebody throws a fistful of glitter at me for no reason, I'm going to be a little upset because I fucking hate glitter.
Yeah, but is it okay to throw glitter at homophobes?
Yes.
Yeah. They deserve the suffering.
Are people too. Homophobes are people too. They're just not people I get along with.
Yeah, you're people too. You're people too.
They're people too, and yes, again, this kind of goes along with it. There's people there that may not necessarily have your kind of mindset in things. As we lovingly joke about the Night Attack panel being backed up against the BDSM panel every year. Each track is its own con here. We have I don't know if that Kevin brought that up. There's like 26 different cons going on under the umbrella known as Dragon Con.
Yeah, no, he said there's 35 fan tracks. Wow, that's
35 this year. Jesus Christ. That means it has went up 11 tracks since I have started going here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you have a little bit of, well, I want to say a little bit, but you have a lot of everything.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. It's like, okay, so I there's nothing going on the podcasting track at the time. Oh, there's this really cool Doctor Who panel that we're going to bolt over there because it's 2 doors down. Yeah, exactly. There's always something to do. Literally always something to do. Something I want to try and hit up this year, as long as I'm not too old and tired, is I really want to do the midnight Rocky Horror / Dr. Horrible sing-alongs that they do.
Ooh.
Oh my God. I saw Dr. Horrible for the first time, like probably 6-7 months ago.
Did you not? Were
it
you
is
not
so
with us
great.
Did the Dr. Horrible rating review?
No.
No.
It's so great. Once you get past the intro of it, I love it, but I hate it because they make Nathan Fillion seem like such a douche.
That's
it's just
kind of the
proof
point.
of how great of an actor he is.
I know.
Right?
And it's got an amazing ending. I love the ending to it.
It was pretty horrible.
Yes, it was absolutely horrible. So yeah, as per favorite con experiences, I mean, it's absolutely new memories every year, but I mean, I still point to last year being my number one. I doubt it'll ever be toppled with the first year that we got to do the panel Friday at 8:30 at Galleria 6 on the Hilton. And
that sounded like a schedule plug.
Oh, we've gone about beverages. Jesus Christ, people. I don't keep fridging.
I don't have to work after this.
Last year was insane because I was giving blood last year on Sunday night, and this girl comes up to me and asks me for an autograph, and I'm like, and I asked this unironically, or kind of ironic. I'm like, do you know who I am? She goes, yeah, you're CJ. I'm like, oh shit, you know who I am.
Yeah, I had somebody do that one. Go ahead.
And I signed her. I signed her tag next to people like, oh, I don't know, James Gunn, and I don't know, freaking Felicia Day, and on a nerd for me, Brian Brushwood and Justin Robert Young. Like,
you're up there, you know.
Yeah, I've never had autographs, but I did have a couple people at Otakon run up and be like, "Oh my God, you're K-Chan!" And I'm like, "What?
What?
No.
No one's gonna ask me for my autograph. Just I'm expecting that.
Also, for those who are listening to this and will be going to us live, yes, we're on Friday late. Hey, guess what we're bringing, people? For those who may already be inviting, we're gonna bring snacks, and it's not all gonna be horrible shit like it was last year.
I'm still trying to get the taste of bacon out of my mouth.
We just need to find the Gohan Desio.
Why would you want to remove the taste of bacon?
No.
Oh no, it was really bad bacon soda. We're going back to Rocket Fizz. Don't worry, we're going back to Rocket Fizz.
Maple bacon soda.
Don't worry, bro. We're going back. We're going back to Rocket Fizz, and I'm getting a Thanksgiving dinner soda.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I hate myself and everybody on the panel with me.
You could do what we did at MegaCon, which is pour maple syrup into really crappy La Croix soda.
So also, I do want to, and I was having some technical difficulties earlier, but on our panel this year at a time that I won't state because I really don't feel like taking a drink while I'm trying to pimp this out. I'll pimp it out when I get done talking. On the panel will be myself, Rachel, Raul doing trivia, Dale doing his Australian thing, Charles McFall, and again, that is Friday at 8:30 p.m. at the Gallery at 6. Did it. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Josh and I will send cardboard cutouts that you can plop up at the table.
There you go. That works.
There may or may not be video proof of me drunk off my ass playing the contender.
Yeah,
yes.
well.
I could have been somebody.
I will also be bringing Action News and with or without Justin's okay and setting up in the game room and demoing it for him.
Action News. There you go. No, there's Action News this time around.
I'm pretty sure that he wouldn't be against it.
Action League now.
Were you here on the
he's yelling at me in fact, he's yelling at me that it's not up on the site, that we haven't done a stream of it yet because my 2 card players haven't come over to my house outside of my damn birthday when there were 10 of us here.
Well,
I'm sorry, you're what?
You're what? You like out there? All we have is we can't. That's all we have. Love you, CJ.
Rachel and I have tried playing it. It doesn't work with 2 people.
How many is the max people?
Like 5. At least with the demo deck that I have, which is the not with none of the extra Kickstarter floof in it. I think you can go up to 6 with all the extra Kickstarter floof.
And the eventual expansions that we hope will come out for it.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, they will.
They will. They will.
Hopefully, it won't be as chaotic as their first Kickstarter.
Well, it's already over, so, and apparently it went well, except for the fact they didn't make as much money on it. So
yeah, but they're not gonna extend themselves.
They learned their lesson, and also the fact that hey, we know where the cheap printing is, and just because it's not a like a political one, they don't have to be like, hey, this is absolutely all done within the United States.
Yeah, they went the homegrown route last time, and that's fine. That happens. Anyway.
Anything else about Dragon Con before we head out of this part and take a break?
I'm nervous and excited. Is that normal?
Nervous-sided.
Yes.
No.
Nervous-sided.
No,
Nervous-sided.
absolutely.
One of these years.
Next year. It's the same weekend every year. We probably won't have, well, unless he does the thing that he's planning on doing and actually gets the thing that he's planning on doing, we won't have a Dale probably next year. So
no, you guys yeah, it's more getting the thing that I'm planning on that matters most. Yeah, we're not gonna.
I'm trying to think of stories from Dragon Con.
Do people still cosplay as the carpet?
All the time. All the time.
There was in the
fact,
parade.
There's
the cult of the Marriott carpet.
There's a Facebook page of the cult of it's the cult of the carpets now, because I think it's the Hyatt changed their carpet, so we now have Hyatt carpet cosplayers too.
But
Dale's laughing at this, but I cannot wait for him to see this.
I like the concept of people dressing up as the carpet. I don't.
Well,
I mean, there's also the gazebo, but
oh jeez.
Yeah.
Hang on, Dale. Dale.
Oh god. Oh my god. Oh god.
Dale.
Oh god. Oh
No.
god. Oh god.
That
is
safe to click. I promise.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, but I actually mean it when I say that.
What? No. What?
All right. So Dragon Con has been going on for 31 years now. So people have developed there are certain cult followings to this thing by now. So yeah.
No, I'm done. I'm just no. I'm taking the show off. The show. It's fine. It'll be like for 8 hours. It's fine. Okay.
Carrie broke Dale.
I'm about to really break down if I can find it.
Whoa.
Whoa. I
Ugh.
like where this is going.
Girl.
Wait, no, not like
need
that.
to get to
not
your
like
private room.
Oh, go. 20 days. Oh, come on. How many days?
It will be in a room. Don't mess up my room. There's only a certain amount of money that I put down on a deposit, you two.
Don't mess up my room. The number one rule of Geek I, don't mess up my room.
Don't mess up my room. Yeah, so any other before we went down on
it's exciting. I'm going to continue to be slight nervous because that's how I do it. And two,
dude, I'm nervous. Like, not even aside. I mean, there is a semblance of panic and excitement every single year that I go to this. So, like, yes, it's enhanced because it's your first, but every single year there is because every single year I have a panic attack or anything along those lines. That there's always a level there that excited panic that you deal with.
Yeah, and there's more the travel elements as well. I'm refusing to look at the hangout window because apparently there's something going on. But
that is spectacular, Raoul.
You need to see it, Dale.
Oh my god, really? All right.
Completely wrapped a truck.
Jesus!
Yes.
Wow. Holy
Tricycles with flags. I like the inflatable dragon.
I like the inflatable.
Yes.
What? They wrap cars in that?
Look at the sword.
The sword
Dude,
with the
yes.
armor. Dressing up as a roll of carpet.
Hey, there's that Bank of America we were talking about earlier. There's
the
barf.
Yeah, all on the parade, they're all like sectioned off. Like, this is the steampunk. This is the fantasy. This is the
carpet.
Whatever. Yeah.
We got
Here, this is the Marriott carpet.
It's called to the Marriott carpet.
You can't pull the run.
That's amazing.
The Marriott got so much shit when they tried changing that carpet. They had to buy carpet back from the people who bought it when they threw it out. Like, the Marriott had to buy because Dragon Con themselves were like, yeah, we need this carpet back or else we're leaving your hotel.
Wow.
It is It is such a, again, 31 years is more than enough time for people to be like, yeah, we've become attached to these things.
That carpet is a part of the con.
Can't they
exactly.
just have like made new carpet? Because I know like whoever was printing those Zentai suits actually got a C&D from the designers of the carpet.
They are now, yeah, they are now. But the year after that, they had to buy back a bunch of it so they could begin reprinting it. But now they have people just making new carpet.
Wasn't the artist whatchamacallit, some copyright thing that he?
That may have been what happened originally. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody probably bought the license to print it or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's always crazy, and it always deals with a lot of weird stuff. Whenever that much money is involved, because this brings in so much money for Atlanta every year that so much money is thrown around in this, so a lot of jockeying for position is there.
Yeah, I went a little bit picture crazy during the parade.
Oh wow, there's something wrong with that.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I did it I did it a year. It wasn't my first year; it was our third year.
Yeah.
And like I don't do the parade after that, to be honest.
Yeah, well.
Just because it's not really me. It's outside and hot and like so many people, but there is a excitement and an energy of the parade that should be experienced at least once in your lifetime. Of course, they jokingly say this is the second annual final Dragon Con parade.
Cool.
Because last year was supposed to be the final parade. This year is quote unquote the final parade. Spoiler alert, it's not the final parade.
Just like it's not Final Fantasy.
And even like all the fans are like, yeah, they say that it's the last parade. There's no freaking way this is the last parade. Like again,
The Jurassic Park car is great.
The parade pulls in like 120 something thousand people, and those people buy things, and those people bring in a ton of money. So yeah, that parade's not ending. I think they might have to move it because they've actually they've done some changing of the parade route in the past. I think they're gonna have to do it again. But other than that, yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Except somewhere else, maybe.
I do not believe the hype. Maybe around the corner a little bit. But that parade will continue to be there. There's no freaking way.
Wow.
F it.
Yeah, and don't try to do everything on one day.
Again,
Kevin mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, get a schedule. Get your hey. Each day I have 5 things that I will not miss. Cool.
Yeah.
That's 5 hours of the day that you're there. You have tons of other time to say, like Raul and I did this the year that we were there. Hey, this sounds cool. Let's go do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. Hey, what I should do is Friday 8:30 p.m. at the Galleria 6 Geek I Live. There you go. Let's get that plug again out there.
I have a habit of like wandering off by myself for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think Dale's going to be doing that.
No. But I do like going off by myself sometimes.
Oh,
just to find different stuff.
Yeah. Which
hey, help desk, we lost our Australian.
Right?
Yeah, where's Australia?
Which brings up a thing. If you can text. Phone calls are non-existent.
Yay! There you go.
Yeah, it is.
Slack.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better over the last few years. Exactly. It has gotten a lot better over the last few years, but it is still a slog. If you get a phone call through, you're lucky. Most of the time, it's like, hey, I'm going to send this text out. The year that Budlong came with us, we set up this weird mesh kind of thing that turned all our phones into kind of like walkie-talkies. That burned through our batteries.
Hey.
But I know there's a couple ways to do that. But yeah, it's one of those things. If
Also,
you're wanting to do something.
Yeah, and you will not feel your phone vibrate. You will not hear your phone ring. If you have a smartwatch, wear it.
Yes.
Oh, and buy a backup battery.
I have like 5 of them that are coming with us.
That's not one. That's not that one.
And
because I do cons.
There you go.
Yeah, that was one of the ways that we first like started talking. Was me like, hey, your solar charging thingy is awesome.
Right? Apparently, Jazz is saying that he can only hear Raul.
Oh, really? Oh.
I'm gonna unmute the.
Wait, we can hear out.
Say something.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. There's round time.
Check 2,
Now happy
3,
fluffy ice cream time. Coming up.
Duck step.
Okay, now it should be working. I thought I tested.
What? We'll be back after this. Quacklude.
Duck step.
Okay,
Oh,
now it should be working.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought I tested. Okay.
Wow.
Yay!
Sorry, Twitch.
YouTube.
Yes, YouTube.
I'll re-import the YouTube video to Twitch, but yeah, our Twitch backlog doesn't get any views anyway. Most of our views come to YouTube as it is. So,
Kevin was on. He was awesome. That's all you need to know.
all right. Hey Dale, do me a favor.
Sorry. So all the tips will be in there. So enjoy that.
Hey Dale, do me a favor.
Hey, what flavor can I do for you today?
Hit me some gadgets, games, and gizmos. We're gonna skip intermission.
Hey. Yeah, we're gonna skip the intermission. Why not? Talk for a minute. Talk for a minute. Be interested.
Yes, Dragon Con, where you can play D&D on Sunday morning at 8 a.m.
Gadgets, games, and gizmos.
Oh, I've got a story for that one. So me and CJ are walking into the Hilton?
Marriott.
The Marriott, and he just suddenly like grabs my arm and starts working faster. I look out of the corner of my eye. There's just some guy dressed in a suit, a white mask over, like dressed like Slender Man.
Just standing in the fucking corner at 6 a.m. on a goddamn Sunday morning, you maniac.
Someone was in character.
He was actually
right?
just leaning against the corner asleep.
Yeah, he fell asleep there from the rave last night. He's just still there, and my like squeal woke him up. All right, so this is Gadget Games Gizmos, where we talk about the stuff that we've been doing in the last weekish.
Last few weeks,
go first.
really.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I want to go first because it was my
Celebration of your womb exit.
Oh, wrong button.
No, you don't get to do that after.
This is my show. If I want to do it after, I get to do it after.
Oh, birthday is a dude.
There we go.
It's a dude. Birthday.
So Rachel set me up the bomb and got a bunch of friends over and surprised me for a surprise birthday party. It was fantastic.
Hey, surprise birthday parties.
And two of which that showed up were, of course, Carrie and Josh and Taco Lady. Sorry, I'm like looking at the chat because I'm dumb.
That's okay. She became Cake Lady for that night.
Cake Lady, she made a scratch made red velvet cake and it was freaking amazing. But Josh and Carrie got me Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, which I did not even know existed. It's evil demons and gods and horrible and Pokemon and post-apocalyptic Pokemon, basically.
So Japan.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It's very Japan.
It's super Japan. Got waifus, Pokemon waifus, like it's all sorts of Japan. It's really great. I'm having a lot of fun with it right now. In fact, I not at all was playing it while waiting for my computer to get restarted. Other than that, speaking of waifus and Japan, I started playing Nier Automata.
Do, 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 do.
Yes, Automata.
Do, 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 do.
It's good. It's not great. It's good. I did a review of it on Gamer Geeks a while back of the demo, and some of the issues that are from the demo still made it into the live game. I'm really enjoying it. The plot is amazing. We may or may not have obtained the soundtrack of it because it is melancholy and gorgeous and just, oh my god. It is other than I think I might actually enjoy the soundtrack for this mainly because it's bigger than even Persona 5. Because like I said, it's bigger on scale. And speaking of bigger on scale, last weekend, Rachel and I got the opportunity to go to MetroCon as press and got to see all of the weebs, including myself.
Oh wait,
one of
it
the
said you
larger...
went to Gen Con.
Oh, I'm getting there. For somebody who doesn't pay attention to what is written, you're being very literal right now, and I don't appreciate it.
Duck step.
Anyway, here's Duck Step.
Duck step.
It is one of the larger anime conventions on the East Coast, and while we were there, I really and truly wish I would have had the time this week so far to get some of the video and audio from there, but we got to see Mr. Jonathan Young and Caleb Hiles in concert, and including a gigantic Disney and anime sing-along where Kiara was up on stage singing a brand new world. No,
Whole new world.
Whole new world.
A brand new world.
With Jonathan Young and Caleb Hiles, and Kiara came back. All right. AJ gets a lot of crushes real quick. Kia doesn't, and Jonathan kissed her hand because she was a princess, and oh my dear God. Oh my dear God. I thought I was going to have to pick her up from fainting.
Oh, that's adorable.
And I got to go up on stage and do the One Punch Man theme, and
One Punch!
I forgot half the words, but thankfully a lot of it is just screaming at the top of your lungs. So Rachel has video of it. Exactly. Hero.
Oh, Jam Project, you glorious bastards.
But me being me, I get in front of a microphone and I just kind of go to 11, and I'm like just yelling at the top of my lungs, like waving the microphone around like an idiot and everything like that. It was so much fun. And afterwards we got to meet up with them, and there may or may not be some partnership things coming in the very near future after all of this con craziness is coming up. Not that I'm tugging boats. Oh fuck it, I'm tugging boats.
Tugging boats.
Oh, that's right. You guys haven't been here long enough for me to be the whole tugging boat thing. Yes, I'm absolutely tugging a boat at this point, and I may or may not be in pretty much constant contact with Jonathan and Caleb at this point in time.
Awesome.
So that was last weekend. This weekend, hey, we're recording another Maniple. I get to relax. Hey, yay! Oh no!
Relax, he says.
Even if I die, by the way, I already have a backup character made. Even if I die, it's more relaxing than what's the weekend after, which is Gen Con 50. And I'm going there as press, and I have no idea what to expect because I've never been to Gen Con, and it's literally sold out all weekend.
Well,
so, yeah. You guys remember a little bit ago when I said I don't like particularly going to the vendor hall during certain times, and I don't like going to the parade because I'm agoraphobic and an introvert and have really bad anxiety? I'm going to a completely sold out convention as press by myself with no Rachel security blanket. Yeah.
Well.
But I'm super stoked there. I'm going to meet up with the guys at Greater Than Games. I'm going to be talking to them about Sentinels of the Multiverse, the RPG, getting a hold of the guys over at Paizo to talk to them about some Starfinder, the guys over at ELO to talk about some new King of Tokyo stuff that they're doing.
Ooh.
Electric Light Orchestra. What?
What?
Electric Light Orchestra.
See if you can schmooze the folks at Open Legend, because they're going to be there too.
Yeah, I got to email them. I said ELO. Yes, Dale got it. Dale, it's a game company. Dale, shut up.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they were just blinded by the light.
Yeah, if Dale makes another joke like that, I'll be wrapped up like a douche.
Whoa!
And then the Calliope's going to crash to the ground, and who wants that?
Exactly.
Poor little CJ's wrapping up like a little douche.
I mean,
Yeah.
Not that kind of douche.
No.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to hit them up, hit up Gen Con. I got some other things. Our friends over at Phoenix Covenant are going to be there. They yelled at me for not emailing them first about coming and visiting them. I'm sorry, guys. I literally got an email from Alex over at Phoenix Covenant. It's like, dude, I saw you on the press list for Gen Con. Why the fuck didn't you tell me you were coming? I'm like, I'm sorry.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Yeah, let's see. I'm going to be meeting up with the guys at Panini Games.
Paninis.
Wizards of the Coast.
Paninis, Josh.
May or may not be that kind of panini.
I'm just saying, I love some sandwich meat smashed between two slices of bread.
Right? That is nice and pressed and delicious. And
I mean, come on, Cuban.
Come on, Cuban. Just that. Gotcha.
I like that as a show title, but come on, Cuban.
Come on, Cuban. That sounds like we're doing like Price is Right or something.
I still love how you can just drive around Tampa and see signs that are advertising hot Cubans.
Whoa.
Hot Cubans in your area.
Is there a part of town that's actual a literal sign?
Yes.
It's called Dale Mabry.
Yeah, right. They are all over the place, dude.
We live up the street from two of them at least.
Yeah. Yeah, Raul, you have to come here. Like, we live in a very interesting area. Dale, you're gonna get us sued. Oh.
It's 3 seconds. It's fine.
But other than that, like, yeah, I'm super stoked for Gen Con, right? Gen Con the weekend after next. And then I have to go prepping for Dragon Con the weekend after that, which before Dale gets here, because there are certain things that he's not going to know that we're going to have until we get to the con Friday at 8:30 p.m. at the Galleria 6 in the Hilton.
Check your schedules, people.
Yeah. There will be things that Dale will not even know, and I cannot wait.
You also made that sound like you're gonna walk off the plane and onto the convention stage.
Yeah, right.
What do you think this is? Galaxy Quest?
There was Terror of Terror the first day I was in the US last time, so it can't be any worse, right?
At least you have a day to relax between when you land and when we leave from Dragon Con.
It's still amazing. That was an amazing day. Wouldn't change that for the world because the Osborne's spectacular light dance show. Which was amazing.
Where I had my foot
what about So what about this
that
plan? I fly to Tampa on Thursday, and then I fly from Tampa to Atlanta on Friday, and meet you at the...
see us. You won't see us on Thursday because we'll be already on the road. We are planning on leaving the butt-ass crack of dawn on Thursday.
Okay.
Whoa, butt crack?
Wednesday.
I
Wednesday
heard
then.
butt crack.
We can have dinner or lunch on Wednesday. Then I can fly back home, and then I can fly straight to Georgia.
Sure, that works.
I really want to.
That doesn't sound expensive at all.
Or how about we all do a supercar trip and put me in the trunk or something?
You know, some trunks are pretty spacious. Just saying.
Not ours, because we're gonna have cosplay and a whole bunch of clothes and food.
So clearly what you do is you get a couple of antlers, affix those to Raul's head, strap him to the hood of the Kia.
Tricord!
The tricord!
Raul is the luxurious, magnificent tricord! Only those who listen to Maniple will understand what the fuck I'm referencing right now.
I want one antler. I mean, there's going to be a set of antlers like that, and then the third one's just going to come straight out, and it's just going to be like,
Rah.
Yeah, like someone just glued another antler to the front.
We'll do one in the back. He'll be the quad corn.
Now come on, everybody knows those are fake.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't even get me started on the goddamn rumors of the pentacorn.
Speaking of pentacorns, Josh, what have you been up to?
Not getting pentas, that's for damn sure. Mostly my gaming geekery has been dedicated to The Last Guardian the past week or so.
And there's not a damn thing wrong with that.
No, there is not. I picked it up alongside a couple other games, also Nier Automata, but I haven't actually started that one yet. Yeah, right? I got Last Guardian, Nier Automata, and Horizon Zero Dawn for Carrie, because she was really excited for that one.
It's so good.
And yeah, Last Guardian has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, there are minor technical things that irk me now and again, but for the most part, like, it's weird to say, but you're not really playing the game to play the game. You are playing the game to immerse yourself in the story that's being told. And the gameplay mechanics are kind of turning the page, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really damn solid game so far, but it's more because of the characters and the story than it is, you know, the super tight platforming and things like that. It's like, no, I mean, the game's beautiful, a little funky at times. There's some serious ragdoll going on in that game.
Yeah, there's a reason why they are, even though this exists, coming out with another Shadow of the Colossus. Like, if you want solid platforming, that's where you get that at. You get Last Guardian for the amazing story. So
yeah, and I got to see such delightful things as the ultimate secret of the Trico, which gives you an achievement.
Wait,
and
have you finished it?
No, there's literally, I don't know if it's like that particular part of the game or it's just an RNG generated thing, but you get treated to watching your giant friend shit.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
And there's an achievement for it.
Oh, Jesus.
The really terrible part is You can interact with it afterwards.
Oh.
Oh.
But yeah,
Because
it's but yeah, just overall absolutely fantastic game. I'm probably going to be playing a lot more of it tomorrow when I'm off. But outside of that, I haven't been playing too much League lately because it was pissing me the hell off, which isn't
Yeah.
under Major League, but I am excited. They just did the reveal for their next champion, and he looks like he's going to be 10 tons of fun.
is that the one where you can shop everywhere?
Yes.
Yay! I know League things, and also run a gaming podcast, so I follow gaming news.
His name is Orn. He's a blacksmith demigod. And he is a big fuzzy ram dude with giant curling horns and a magma fist.
Nice.
You're a big fuzzy ram dude.
Well, I mean, sometimes.
Sometimes. On the weekends, though.
But that's going to be fun. Everybody's been crying about how broken he's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. But if there's one thing the League community is known for, it's knee jerks.
I mean, that kind of hero exists in Dota too, and from what I understand, I mean, he doesn't break Dota, so whatever.
Well, what a lot of people were worried about isn't going to wind up factoring into play anyways, because people were figuring he was just going to sustain infinitely in the lane, but they specify right in the reveal about him that he won't be able to buy potions because he's a blacksmith, not an alchemist.
Nice.
So eventually it will get to the point where he will have to actually return to base to recover HP. But it seems like it's going to be interesting. His abilities look like they're going to be a lot of fun. And particularly, I just like his flavor, his personality, the voice lines he throws out when he does throw them out. He looks fun, and that's what I play for.
Fun.
Nobody plays League for fun, Josh.
I try, okay? I try to enjoy it, and
There's
then
no
other
reason
people
to lie to
sabotage
us.
that.
There's no reason to lie to us or yourself. We understand you have a problem. It's okay. We love you.
League me all up in this podcast. All of a sudden.
The League convention.
League mention. There you go.
But yeah, that's about it. Nothing else too exciting. Work has been a pain in the ass, but that's nothing new. I do need to actually go and watch the first episode of the new season of Voltron because apparently that's out.
Yay!
And if you
Yes.
have not watched the Netflix Voltron yet, do yourself a favor and binge watch the shit out of the first 2 seasons.
It is so good.
It is
I haven't watched
so
it.
damn good.
I'm about like 2-3 episodes into the second season.
Yeah, really excited for that.
Yeah.
Are you going to talk about the other thing or not quite yet?
Nah.
Ooh, George is tagging a boat there. Look at you go.
It's
Hello,
exciting and
Emra.
awesome.
Who's next, Josh?
Well, let's hear from you, Raul, since you asked.
Okay, I've been on I started walking in the early morning, so it's like 5:30.
Nice,
Wake
nice.
up, walk around the block, and it's still nice. I mean, it's like 75 degrees outside at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's been like 80s, 90s here that early. So it's like both of my pharmacists are regular runners, and they were talking about how miserably hot it's been in the morning to the point you can't run. And it's like, and that's one more reason not to run.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it only takes me like 10 minutes to walk around the block, but it's half a mile.
That's good, though. I mean,
But still, I mean, that's a good start. I mean, I think probably
Absolutely.
next week I'll do 2 and make a whole mile out of it. But
There you
what's
go.
great about it is that I'll wake up and I'm still like sleepy. I go out, I walk with my cousin who does like 2 miles, like halfway across most of the schools around here. But yeah, I do mine. I come back home and I'm like, I'm wide awake. Maybe I should get ready for work now, or sit down on my computer and do stuff. Which I've been playing Overwatch in the mornings around
The
6.
morning
Yeah,
watch.
you have.
Yeah, morning watch. 6 a.m. Play a couple of games, and then like, oh, it's 6:30. It's time to get ready. Just a couple of quick matches, maybe a bit of Lucio Ball, because we've got Overwatch Summer Games coming out. Yeah, the Summer Games are
No,
amazing.
That's before he divorces Ricky.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Yeah, Raoul and I both. I'm not an Overwatch person, so all I understand is
Lucio Ball. Lucio Ball. She made that show back in the like the 60s.
Oh,
I live Lucy.
You got some splaining to do.
Lucy. Du-du.
and then I've also been eating a little bit healthier. It takes so much willpower not to like, oh, I'm passing by the convenience store, I'll pick up a slushie. Nope, can't do that.
Yeah.
Sugar. And I'm like, oh wait, I'll just pick up a I'll get lunch from here. So much grease. So I threw some chicken breasts into my sous vide. I think it was like Tuesday, and I'm still eating off of that.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. You just portion it out and say, what do you think?
So yeah, I made some really chunky chicken salad yesterday, which that's what I had for dinner. Because
Chicken salad.
I was trying to like cut it with a knife, but if you cut cold chicken breasts with a knife, they kind of come out like in chunks. It doesn't shred. I have to warm it up and then shred it.
You're doing it wrong.
Make close to that, Raoul.
Let's see what else. And just extremely tired because they're running us ragged because school starts in 1 week.
Yay.
And today we had our...
What? Today was the first day of school for real people.
And those Texans are behind on everything, aren't they?
Right?
Yeah, and today we had our like district convocation, so it's like everyone getting to the same place, and we have a spirit stake. It's like each school is like very into it, except CO because we've been here all year.
We don't leave.
And you can tell that the ones that are really into it are the elementary schools.
Yeah, because they're like hyperactive.
Yeah, our pre-K, kinder, and our 1st through 4th, because we have 1st and 2nd on one campus, and 3rd and 4th on another one, and they're all in there. They've got noisemakers, they've got cymbals. Like if they raided the music room.
They haven't been jaded yet by the system.
Oh no! They half of the people in pre-K and kinder are certifiable. Like they should be committed.
I was gonna say certifiably insane.
Yes, because you have to deal with lemmings at that level.
It is like herding cats.
Yeah, because you have if one child does something, the rest of them are going to start doing it.
Yep.
Because
what's more
that's the cool thing to do.
Teaching kindergartners or getting a bunch of geeks to start a gaming show on time?
Oh. Now here's Duck Step.
No, we once had a year-long plague of biting because one kid decided to bite somebody.
I was in a pre-K classroom. One kid started coughing, and then they all started coughing.
Just
because, of course.
Yeah, just because like one kid like actually started coughing, and then all the other kids like started fake coughing.
Yeah, and teachers will use that for good/evil as well. Like if one of them decides to pick up something off the floor, the teacher will heavily praise that child, and then you've got a bunch of little minions cleaning up when you didn't actually tell them to.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Are those the little
no.
tricks
Yeah.
that they use?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, peer pressure is a very powerful teaching tool.
And then and then you have like the younger, the teachers, they start speaking in like kid, like, oh, let's go to the potty. I was like, oh, I just went to the potty. They start using the same lingo with their adult friends as with the kids.
All the time.
It gets worse when you're a parent. Yeah, absolutely. Like I have to force myself to say restroom or anything like that because the rest of the time it's just fuck it, it's potty.
I went doo-doo.
I do the do.
Because my children never called it doo-doo, so it was always just poop. I never taught my children to be like doo-doo or anything like that. It's poop.
A friend of ours has a pretty great euphemism, and he calls it Nintendo time.
Nintendo time. That is amazing.
That is good.
Because you go, wee!
Oh!
I think you have to switch up a little.
What have you been up to, Dale?
Not doing that. All right. That's what I've not been up to. What I have been up to, though, let me tell you, I got a new phone since we've last done this shindig.
Yay!
It is an iPhone 7 Plus. As I just showed my home screen, it is.
It matches you.
It matches.
Oh, that's a lot of porn.
That is a lot of porn. I go through this phase, and I'm sure I'll grow out of this phase one day. But I'm slowly turning my office into a pink headquarters eventually. Like, yeah, it's slowly turning into pink central. I mean, I've got a purple pen, so that's close. I got another phone case here that's got pink that. I've got pink earbuds. I got a purple stapler, so I'm slowly into a teenage girl. One of these days.
The dream.
The dream. The goals of a young
So
aspiring.
did you hit like your top age and you're going back down?
Yeah, I've hit peak at 12, and now I'm going backwards because apparently I'm 12 years old. So, yeah, I'm going back.
We'll be sure and get you a glittery pink Trapper Keeper for all your Geek I.O. business.
Oh, see,
All of the Lisa Frank folders.
Yes, unicorns, everything.
I mean, I've got exactly 70 Pokemon stickers, despite what the pack.
Wait, do you have all the pink Pokemon?
Do I have pink Pokemon? Other pink Pokemon? Anyway, that's a thing I didn't do on my own time. Do that right now on the show. It's search for pink things. But outside of that, I've started using an app that I've not heard of Google doing this, but there's a relatively new service called Google Primer. And what it is, it's a handy little resource. They give you like bite-sized business lessons. That makes sense. So I open it up, and the first thing, this is going to be very visual, but the first thing is curated by the group Primer team. Create your business idea. That's a package of three lessons of start, strategy, hiring, office ideas, and all the rest of it. So they're little bite-sized business classes, and I've done a few of them, like when I've had 5 minutes to kill on the bus or somewhere else, and they're helpful. Not only for trying to find my feet, but trying to develop podcasts and stuff like that, and just trying to refresh stuff that I'd learnt in college at the beginning of my course, dragging it through, and A, seeing what has changed over 4.5 years, and B, just refreshing my memory. It is a very good refresher, so I recommend it. Google Primer is what it's called. So Google did it. It was a recommended app, and I'm like, what is this? I thought it was some sort of mechanical thing, but it's not. It's little bite-sized business.
Yeah, you go through Google Primer and then your Google Top Coat.
Your Google Top Coat and your Google Sparkly Hat, which that's actually app would be the Google Sparkly Hat? What app would that be? That would be where the hot party places are. Is that what that is?
That's the fashion app where you upload a selfie and Google's algorithms rate your outfit and suggest
that's
accessories.
Amazon. That's Amazon.
That's Amazon. Amazon Sparkly Hat.
Sparkly hat.
And then you get 1 day shipping apparently, because that's the thing. You're gonna be a Prime member, so there you go. Anyway, that's a really bad joke. Anyway, so I've been doing the things on Twitch. Dale Does Disney, which has turned into be one of the best ideas / things I've ever done, because to justify an impulse purchase. Let's be honest here. To justify an impulse purchase is doing streaming on the Twitch channel, and I have gone through the first game on that stream, Cars 2, the video game.
Oh, the light rail. I still haven't closed that tab, so it pops up every time I reboot my computer.
That's brilliant.
Sorry about that, folks. Rachel came in because she was supposed to be sleeping, said I was sleeping, and then I woke up, so I had to put her back into bed.
Understandable.
I'm just saying how much Cars 2 the video game is. You didn't miss much.
So It's great, right? Game of the year.
It's game of the year. It's 5 out of 5. Better than Magic Carp Jump. It's brilliant. Brilliant. If only not for the light rail scene, first of all. Second of all, just you get this bug every 10 minutes. It plays the same 1 second audio clip over and over and over again.
Oh God.
So there you go. Brilliant stuff. Great radio. Great streaming. Oh, and radio, I guess. So it's Cars 2 the video.
It's got a great taste for radio.
It's got a good.
It's like that review of Gen 3, too much water. Cars 2 has too much light rail.
Yeah, Cars 2, way too much unexpected light rail. I did not see that coming. Apparently, people are like, "How did you not see it coming from a mile away?" I went, "Well, first of all, first time playing this. Second of all, who's looking for a massive light rail train coming at your car? Like, what the hell? Like, what the hell?"
I cannot wait to stream Mario Kart with Dale.
Oh, Mario Kart!
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
Put down for that. Like, I'm all down.
Terry and Josh, we're gonna need to talk after the show. Not that we don't anyway. So
So, CJ, what you're telling us, we need to schedule some Mario Kart, some Mario Kart 8 time. Anyway.
Yeah, if I can get Terry and Josh over here, which is the struggle upon itself.
Oh.
Hey, as long as we can, if I can
being adults suck.
No, I was to say if I can if we can iron something out and I can start putting in days because they're making the September schedule tomorrow.
I mean, there's always weekend days. It's fine. Well, not
Josh and I both work Saturdays.
Gotcha. Not something. Hey, it's post show stuff. We're not something else. There's time.
Being an adult.
Cars. Well, hey, it's a vacation for me. If it wasn't a vacation, I'd be the same way. Which is why I'm super excited for this trip coming up in 17 days is when I depart. So you know what? Yeah, 17 days. It's sneaking up on me very, very quickly. I cannot wait, and I'm nerve-sided is what I am. That's now the new phrase. But no, nerve-sided for this trip. It's great. I picked up my Dragon Con costume, and only Rao knows what it is, because that's the purpose of coming in early. Is Rao knows what my costume is. He wanted me to put it on. I said no, and yeah, everyone was upset after that, because that's fun. But it is a good costume. I think it is. So there you go. That's about it for me. Kerry, what have you been up to?
Well, Josh got me an awesome t-shirt.
Ooh.
It's a very nice t-shirt.
So that's awesome. Also picked me up Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a super, super fun game. I've sunk about 8 hours into it, and I've only just now gotten to where I can leave the starting area if I so choose.
Sounds about right.
I
have sunk way too many dozens of hours into it, and I don't think I'm even 50% done with the storyline yet.
I adore Aloy, not just because her character is interesting to me, but because she is a female protagonist who is written like an actual human being and is not a vehicle for TNA.
Croft.
Like she's not super endowed or anything like that, and I freaking love it.
Yes, she's super capable. She's awesome. The whole aesthetic of this tribal culture mixed with metal beasts is really, really fun. And it's just a fun game to play. It's genuinely enjoyable, and I want to keep picking it up.
What was your choice when it came to the bully?
The bully, I chose to put the rock down.
Okay.
I almost knocked it out of his hand, but I put it down instead. I tend to go between the feelsy ones and the clever ones. I don't like being an asshole in games.
Yeah, mine is mostly always the logical / skillful one.
Head in the heart.
Also, I've been knitting again. I took a break from the cardigan that I'm working on because it's taking forever and being annoying. But I have the beginnings of a shawl that I'm working on.
That is not at all what I thought that was, but it looks great.
Yeah, there have been made comments as to what the beginnings of this shawl
don't worry,
looks
CJ. Like you said, you're not alone there.
Everybody who makes this shawl also makes that joke. But no, it's eventually going to be like a blanket-sized shawl that I can wrap myself up in and be super comfy. And so that's exciting. And that's about it. Enjoying my last couple of weeks of freedom before school starts back up again. Yes, Link. So I like to do this thing where I pre-order myself something and then forget that I pre-ordered it, and I get presents from my past self. And so this is my latest present from past me.
Yay! Oh, adorable.
For those who are listening to this later, it is the DX Breath of the Wild Link Nendroid. And it is... Come on, focus. Gonna focus on me? No, it's gonna keep focus on my...
Focus on me.
Yeah, it's like, all right, stop trying to see Carrie's face and see Link's face. Do it.
Do it now.
Nope.
No.
It looks fine on our end.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks fine on that.
But yeah, it's a really, really nice sculpt. It comes with a ton of different accessories. And it's a great little figure. DJ, you went super robot.
And I almost fell off my ball, you guys.
Fighting robot. CJ man.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
You didn't show the other half of the figure, though.
Oh yeah, it also comes with this.
CJ's ball.
Horse.
I just realized my ball is going flat.
That sounds like a personal problem.
They make pills for that.
No, I don't think they really make too much for the ball end of things. It's mostly the rod they tackle.
The rod they tackle. They should make ball pills. TDH.
This is the night that we break Dale over and over again.
It's quite easy to break me.
No, that'll be Dragon Con. Wink.
Kind of made a joke then. That was good timing.
I am sad that we didn't get to go this year.
Well.
Yeah, and I can guarantee if we would have been acquaintances and friends this time last year, yeah, it would have been you guys are being dragged.
Drag to Dragon Con.
Dragon Con?
Dragon Con.
Oh.
But hey,
Dragon.
next year, make sure that you guys have Labor Day weekend off. That's all I'm saying.
And the week after for recovery?
You're right.
Right.
Yeah, for your first one, you probably will need some recovery time. Me, at this point, now that I've been doing this the better part of a decade, like Tuesday, I'm a little groggy, but I'm usually pretty good on that one. But then again, I do cons so much that I don't really get con crud anymore. So, like, yeah.
I'm gonna be. That's
You are not going to be a walking con crud because I am going to be bathing you in freaking antibacterial lotion every time you touch somebody.
Just bring an entire bottle of echinacea with you to the hotel.
CJ's going to be looping me up with.
That's the thing that koalas eat, so he's good with that, right?
That's eucalyptus, CJ.
There's eucalyptus. Still.
All right, guys, so let's go ahead and wrap this show up because I'm going to turn into a pumpkin in 4 minutes. Also, I'm really tired. All right. So you can listen to us live Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Fridays at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. geek-io.net/live and tunein.alphageekradio.com. You can get a hold of us with email, geekioshow@gmail.com, or if you pretty much do a /geekio show on any of the social medias, including a very empty Instagram page that I think I made, if I made Instagram correctly, because I don't know how to Instagram. And also, I think I made a Snapchat. I'm not entirely sure how to Snapchat either.
We're about to get some very interesting Snapchats, aren't we?
This is what happens.
All of the unsolicited dick pics.
I mean, I'm not unsoliciting them. I mean, this is what happens when you let the 30-something-year-old dad do it, as opposed to, I don't know, the 20-something-year-old producer who should be doing these things. Marketing.
Oh, hey, I'm paying attention, aren't I? Is that what's happening? Hey, Ralph, I didn't know you were 20-something. Wow, you're good. You're looking good over there.
Wow,
He's
you're
saying I look
looking
old.
good for a 20something.
Bitch,
Is this how far society has fallen?
Bitch, if I wanted
Is
to
it
look
Logan's
younger,
Run?
all I had to do was shave my. All I have to do to look younger than Dale is shave my facial hair. So.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, well, this is staying. This is for life. Go.
Also,
again.
hit us up on our Patreon, patreon.com/geekio, to help me get better network in my office because my computer sucks when it's trying to eat two computers. Also, DragonConNewbies.org. For all of the stuff that we talked about and more over for the DragonCon Newbies group for Kevin Bachelder. And Facebook.com/groups/DragonCon Newbies.
Indeed. And thank you again to Kevin for coming on. It's a pleasure as always. He's a handy resource. Next week, wow, I was about to skip ahead in the script because I'm a 20-something producer that should be paying more attention. Next week on the Geek I show, probably a quiet show, hopefully with CJ, but no promises.
I might be out cold from getting ready to do Gen Con stuff, so I hope to be here. I make no promises.
No promises. No promises at all. And speaking of which, I don't know the next clip. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. Same as last week, Dale is not prepared because
it's almost as though this has been in the show notes and you put it there.
And I put it there, but instead we have this. Anyway.
However, I do miss, by the way, on that note, I do miss Dale being on the mana pool only to stumble me over my entrance when I say last time on the mana pool.
I'd say, you know what, we're doing a better
runs this week. Atomic Blonde and the Emoji Movie.
He hasn't played the thing, or I'd be doing it. He hasn't played the thing, or I'd be doing my spiel. I'm not doing my spiel until he plays the thing.
I am playing it. What? What? Am I going crazy?
Someone say duck step?
I am playing it. You are hearing that, right? Am I not?
I think he wants the actual bumper.
Raul,
no,
something's going on with your background.
Oh no. That's because I'm standing up.
Okay.
There you go. Are we really doing this? We can't. Anyway, now it's time for Tail. Blink, blink.
You have a soundboard that you can put things on. Fuck it, it's the SmackDown update. It's week 16.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, no, you gave me just enough time.
Ending its run this week is Atomic Blonde and the Emoji Movie. Ending its run this week is the Atomic Blonde and the Emoji Movie. Atomic Blonde brought in less money than I thought it would, and the Emoji Movie brought in more money than I thought it would. Entering its second week, another movie that is drastically underperforming, sadly, so sadly, The Dark Tower. And I'm not just saying that because it's my movie. I'm saying that because I doubt there's going to be a sequel at this point. Opening this week is the Glass Castle. Annabelle Cool. And Nut Job 2, Get Nutted, or whatever it's called.
Get nutted. Oh, Jesus. Nuttier by nature. But get nutted.
That's
way.
not any better.
Nutty by nature.
Yes.
Nutty.
So, nobody's changed. It's still Charles, me, Dale, Rachel, Raul. However, I honestly think I'm going to win this thing. I think Glass Castle will put me in just enough to be able to get up there.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be last days. I think it's gonna come down to the last days.
Yeah, it is. It'll probably be that whole thing. It's like when we're updating it before we go to Dragon Con on Thursday, it's this. But when we're at the hotel and be like, okay, I got internet, do this. Oh, yeah, now somebody else is in the lead.
Yeah. How am I not losing? I was saying this today. I've had the worst slate I have ever had in the Summer of the Movie SmackDown.
Because all the movies that Rachel bought, while she backloaded and it was seeming like it was going to do very good, her movies all underperformed. So it has not been a good year for Rachel. I mean, and in general, like all of the movies have pretty much underperformed. Even Charles's movies. Charles should be higher than 40 million.
40 million. That's low. Like that would be fourth, fifth place in a normal SmackDown. I don't understand how the Summer has been 40.
He had a killer lineup. So yeah, 40 million. Like the fact that I'm at 37.5 and I'm like, hey, I think Ass Castle is going to get me above that is weird to think of.
And yeah, I mean, you're not in first place, but you've probably had the best spread of movies out of all of us when we're thinking.
I think I've had like dollars spent. I might have one of the better lineups. By the way, I want to point out the Emoji Movie has a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes and has pulled in 53 million, and The Dark Tower has a 21% and has pulled in 23 million.
Ouch.
So
yeah.
I'm not just saying
the times.
I'm just saying, I'm not even saying like, yes, everybody go see Dark Tower because I own it, but it's really sad that this movie is not making.
But yeah, they're two different target audiences, though. So is that really fair?
No. I mean, just in general, like a highly anticipated geek movie like Dark Tower, like should pull in more money than this. And by the way, if it's still in the theaters, which I doubt it, when you get here, we might go see that one.
Yeah.
Though I think a nice rant and review of The Hitman's Bodyguard might be in order.
Ooh. Ooh, if that's still in theaters when I get there, which probably will be, that would be close.
Yeah, that one's coming out on the 18th. Like you're gonna be here too. We're actually gonna be buying into feeding Rachel on this one.
Yeah.
And you can see the ridiculousness that is the super swanky theater.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Carrie. You and I are on the same wavelength here.
As I'm sure Josh is as well.
I just want to see another non-United States native see American movie size popcorn and soda.
Right?
Yeah. Can we do that now? Can we do that right now?
Yeah, we brought our friend. Yeah, good times.
Okay, so this week on the Geek I Network, Generic Live Show continues with the seriousness as they discuss the introduction of mental health days down under. Dale does Disney with Lego Pirates of the Caribbean and turns the Deep Swamp into a game of Wipeout.
Which, by the way, I shit at like platforms where you have to go over like an ocean or like a cliff or something. Yes.
And this week, you can also check out Manipool. Oh, sorry, Dale.
Go on. No, I said. I turned the Deep Florida Swamp into a game of Total Wipeout.
I like that. That's what the Florida Swamp should be for.
Yeah, there you go.
And this week on the Manipool in our Open Legend, we encountered our first random encounter. Well, random encounter to us, not random to our storyteller.
And I almost murdered a teammate.
Yes, you did. People should tune in to hear about that.
And last Sunday we did do more Overducklings, playing Overwatch with me, CJ, Josh, and Carrie. And yes.
Once we get to the point where we can take, bits and subscriptions, that should totally be the sound.
Yes.
just that. Just over and over and
Someone
over.
subscribed.
Get repetitive really quickly. Not the fact that
wow, that's a lot of show notes. Or a lot of show title.
Yeah, show title can't.
But everybody was talking all at once, and then everybody went quiet.
Hey, welcome to the Geek I show. Hey, Carrie, do you want to read the show title candidates?
Sure. Dragon Con pro tips, cover the private parts. Dale's hot Japanese mankini hot bikini bod. Techno issues. Can't drop the ducks. Most badass people on the freaking universe. The drinking schedule. The parade. So stoked I'm bouncing. 621. Moving you through those lines. The answer is yes. The Mardi Gras of conventions. We do not go to the Marriott on Saturday night. No. Your CJ cut off, Mike. Throwing glitter at homophobes. 35 for the price of one. Breaking Dale. Don't mess up my room. Cult of the Marriott carpet. Not the final parade. Not going anywhere, except maybe somewhere else. Birthday is a dude. Evil demon gods, demons and god, Pokemon and demon god Pokemon. All sorts of Japan. Speaking of waifu, Atoma Manamana. A brand new world. Tugging boats. But come on, Cubans. That doesn't sound expensive at all. The wonderful, luxurious tricorn. Big fuzzy ram dude. Slowly turning into a teenage girl. Google sparkly hat. The rod they tackle. And everyone was talking, then everyone went quiet.
There you go. Man. Oh, yeah. I kind of like all of them. Can we make all of them the show title? Oh, no, that's right. Remember when we did 3 show titles on one episode?
Yeah, it was crazy. And it's also like we have a person write some interesting things and put these show titles into a nice synopsis. But other than that, we'll see you guys hopefully next week. Hopefully I'll be here and not exhausted getting ready to go in a plane. But yeah, we'll be here. I might be here. We'll see you next week. Bye.
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 This has been a Geek I Media Network production. Copyright 2017.